All right. Well, back on the road this weekend, headed down to FAU. Really happy with our team this weekend. You know, that was a big series against Middle. I thought we did some really good things, played in dominant fashion. We look up, we only have 6 left. We've got these 2 at FAU this weekend, and then, you know, I'm going to start right now pushing people to get out for our last home weekend here against Old Dominion. It's on homecoming weekend. This is a pretty special team, and it's your last 2 chances to see them. And, you know, these 5th-year kids decided to stick around for an extra year, and I sure would appreciate, you know, this community coming out and thanking them for making that commitment and coming back and keeping us as a top 25 team all year. There's just a lot to celebrate. And so we're looking forward to the next few weeks as we end up the regular season. So with that, questions?
Coach, like you said, 6 left in the regular season against Conference USA teams. Already played 6 against Conference USA teams. I guess in terms of league schedule, I guess, how would you evaluate where you guys are at compared to where you would like to be?
Well, I mean, you can't argue with the result, right? I mean, we've swept 3 different opponents, and so I'm really proud of that. It is, I'm telling you, it is a very difficult challenge to play these teams back to back and to stay locked in. And I think you see it. You see it rear its head a little bit when we play. We'll play well for a set or 2, and then have one that's, you know, all of a sudden you look up and we're down, and, you know, it's just a real mental challenge to get there day in, day out. But I'm really pleased. I mean, we're, you know, halfway through this thing in our schedule. We have, I think, a 3-game lead. Is that right? 3-game lead with 6 to go in terms of winning a championship. And, you know, as I say all the time, winning a regular season championship, I think, is a tremendously difficult challenge because you have to get yourself ready day in, day out. And so far, so good. You know, we're continuing to try to improve in the face of success. You know, we're winning matches, but there's areas that we can get better at, and our team just needs to continue to strive to be a better version of themselves every week.
So while you mentioned, you know, the challenge of winning a regular season, when you guys look at how many straight sets you've swept, I think 11 at this point now, in a way, this might sound silly, but you almost get like too comfortable with winning. It's almost like you're so used to it that it can get too comfortable.
Yeah, not in my gym. I think you ask any of our players and they will tell you that there's a whole lot of matches we win, and after I'm done talking to them in the locker room afterwards, they're not so sure we even won anymore. That's just not in my DNA. I'm not, but you know what, I'll also say that on the flip side of it. When we lose, that's not the end all be all either. This is about the process. This is about being a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday. And, you know, I don't let the scoreboard dictate to me what I think we are, you know, win or lose. You know, again, you've probably seen me in social media and stuff talking about our football team the last couple weeks, and I love that group of young men that are playing football with that WKU across their chest. And I know on the scoreboard they haven't won a lot early on, but I see it when I watch them play. They are a team. Just watch what happens the rest of the year for them, because I love the way they approach things, and I love how hard they play, and I love how much they stick together. And, you know, on the flip side of that, we're winning, but that doesn't always mean that everything's going great. And I'm about process, and I'm about, you know, trying to push people to be better than they were the day before. And so that's not a concern in our gym, and it's not something we talk about. I think somebody in media asked one of our players after the last match on Saturday, you know, about what you know, this win streak or what our record is. And when Logan, I think it was Logan Kale, said, to be honest, I don't even know what our record is, they're not kidding, because it's not how our program functions. What does it matter what our record of things that we've already done is? It's about the next weekend and the challenges that lie ahead of us.
When you say you want to see some things cleaned up, what do you specifically want to see cleaned up entering this week?
Yeah, we got to handle the ball better. We're known at Western Kentucky for being a very good first contact team, and our serve receive has not been very good the last few weeks. And so we've got kids that have done it for a long time. So it's not gosh, where do we turn? We've got plenty of places to turn. We just have not had the consistency and paid enough attention to the details of that. And I haven't coached it well enough. And that is one of the areas that Travis Hudson coaches on this team. That's not on any of my assistants. That's an area that I handle most every day in practice, and we're not doing it at the level that we're capable of, and that's on me to get corrected. And so that'll be a big focus this week.
Coach, you
you talked about 6 games left on the year. Can you believe that we're already in this final stretch of the year? Because like, it feels like yesterday that the season just started.
Well, that's always an interesting question to ask an old coach like me, because on one hand, yes, it's amazing. It's hard to believe we're almost done, already. On the other hand, I feel like I've been lost in the woods for about a month and need a place to take a nap and something good to eat. And, it's just a lot of wear and tear, especially in this year more than others. But that's one of the things. It's funny you bring that up. It's one of the things that I'm going to get with our fifth-year seniors today and just spend some time with them trying to kind of reassess and refocus and make sure that we're, really clear on what we want to do to be better the rest of the way, be really clear on what our goals are the rest of the way, but also be really clear in the amount of gratitude that we have for the season we're having, the people around us, and the things that we've accomplished to this point.
Can you talk about the senior leadership, I guess? How does that help you at this point of the season? And you talked about homecoming coming up here soon. I guess, what does it mean to them just to be able to have this type of season going into homecoming?
Well, I think it means a lot. It's what they came back for. I think it's been hard. I think it's been hard for them because I think there's been such an assumption that we were just going to walk in and do what we've done to this point. But I just can't tell you how unfair that is. Because it is, like I tell you, every day is a new journey. Every day is a new challenge, and they've stood up to it in the face of a lot of fatigue, both mentally and physically. And so I'm really, really proud of them. That's why I want to have such a great weekend to celebrate them next weekend, back here in Diddle Arena, because they've sure given a lot and done it at a high level for this program.
You look at Lauren Matthews, her numbers speak for itself with that double-double she had over the weekend. While he talks about senior leadership, that's a leader that you've really been honing in on. How impressed have you been with just how much better she's gotten in the last couple of weeks?
Well, you run out of superlatives, for Lauren. The stretch she's on in conference play is it's just remarkable. It really is not something, Lauren Matthews is making me out to be a liar is what's happening, because after the year she had in the spring, I said, Lauren, look, kid, you can't evaluate yourself by what you did in the spring. Those numbers are not normal. They're not possible, and you don't have to put up those kind of numbers to still be an elite player. And, there's just not a lot of ceiling left. And Lauren keeps finding more ceiling and continues to do more and more things. But that's just the kind of kid she is. She's never satisfied, and she is, I'm very comfortable in saying she is one of the elite players in the country, regardless of league or division, or it doesn't matter. This kid she does it night in, night out against every imaginable blocking scheme in front of her, every imaginable defense in front of her, and she continues to produce over and over.
FAU seems like they've struggled a little bit in terms of wins and losses. I think they've lost 9 of the last 11. You mentioned the challenge of the back-to-backs. They just came off a weekend where they split with FIU. Both were 3-0 matches, which is kind of. But I guess what are your expectations heading into?
Just up and downs, right? They played FIU on Friday night and dominated them in 3, and played FIU on Saturday and got dominated in 3. And welcome to 2021. And it's just the way that this thing is. And FAU always has some really talented kids. And, this is their senior, I don't know if it's their last one. I'm assuming it's their last one. But this is their senior weekend they just alerted us to. So there'll be a lot of emotion in their gym for their senior weekend. And, we're going to have to go play well. They're always really, really well coached. You never know exactly which FAU team you get, because as you see, there's times when they're really, really good, and then there's times when they struggle, and hopefully we can do some things to keep them on the struggle side of this thing.
And in terms of their personnel, I guess, is there anybody in particular that you look out for? They've got one Kinsley in the top 10 hitting percentage. Kiera Girl is top 10 in kills. I guess what you see from their personnel.
Well, looking at them early on, still got a lot of film to evaluate, but looking at them early on, I think this will be a week where we focus more on what we're doing. I don't think that they're doing anything that should be outside of what a normal defending scheme should be able to get their arms around. They're both really good players and doing a lot of really good things, but I think we're best served to try to clean up our side of the net a little bit this week and do the things that we do well going in. I think that'll take us a lot further than really having to scheme against any individual player that they have at this point.
Anything else?
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.